Hey, Facebook, how you doing? It's Monday. It's time for 1500. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, too, by the way.
Crazy.
Rocking my Father's Day gift.
Taco Bell. I love that that's what they got you. I mean, that is the perfect thing for you. Seriously.
Crazy.
Mallory picked me out some swimming trunks that she said reminded her of Margaritaville. It's got like flowers and palm trees.
So oh my gosh.
On the cruise.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's thoughtful. And my mother-in-law got me a $15 Taco Bell gift card, which will feed me for a month.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, gotta love it.
Oh man.
Hey, that's Courtney. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open the phone lines once we go through the introductions. We have our big announcement. We have an announcement. The last show ever. No, just kidding.
No, we promised this is the last show forever.
last day with kids. No better day of the year. That's the best. God, I miss those days. I missed being the last day of school. That was always the best. Spencer, Patrick here, Craig. All right, so the phone lines will be open. It's the same number, 407-413-9395. Give us a call. You can call in, talk about anything you want. The episode's all about the show for the last 11 years or so.
All right, y'all.
But questions would be good too. Questions.
Yes.
Anything you want. But be patient. If somebody, here's the rules with the phone calls. If somebody's on the phone line, I can't take two. There's only, we're not like, we're a 50,000 watt radio station. I am a dude running on two computers with only two hands and a mic. So
you only have two hands?
Be patient.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Taco Bell gift card is not the big announcement. I know it's close. So.
That is close. Yeah.
Pretty sweet. All right, so I like the shirt. I wonder if I'll get a discount when I go through the drive-thru tonight.
No, they're not going to give you a discount for your Taco Bell shirt.
Girl, she knows my order. When I start my order, when I go spicy tostada, Cool Ranch Doritos taco, all of a sudden she pops up the other three items right below it. Yeah, she works every Monday night.
That's too funny.
Oh, that's funny. Oh no,
Spencer, that is not happening. You are paying, bud.
Yes.
Disney makes. Don't have the dog barking.
I couldn't hear a dog. Did you?
I can. That's all right. Of course, Riley is here, and the dog is barking upstairs. So
that's all right. I couldn't hear it.
All right.
I've got a cat. He says hello.
I don't think that AP preview has been officially announced. I think
no, they haven't announced the dates. They've announced that it's happening.
I saw it on a sketchy site.
Yeah, called Touring Plans.
I saw it on Blog Mickey. So
no, it's real. I promise you, it is real. They are having annual pass holder previews. So,
all right.
I know. May my fingers be swift, and I be very lucky.
All right, here we go. So let's see. Got that set up. 1500. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1500 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy episode 1500, everybody.
Woo!
Yes. We're going to
be crazy.
Oh my gosh, 1500 episodes at the show.
Banana pants. I mean, seriously.
All right. So we're going to get to having some fun here. Of course, it is a Wednesday, so we are going to answer your listener questions. We're also going to open the phone lines at 407-413-9395 to hear, any comments or questions that you may have. Just jump right to the top of the queue there and be a part of the show today. And we're going to have a great time celebrating 1500 episodes of the Be Our Guest podcast. We've got a big announcement headed your way, but let me announce the ladies first. Then we'll get to the announcement. We'll get to the calls and the questions. So joining me today, as always, we have Rikki from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, TouringPlans.com, and The Mouse for Less. What's going on, Rikki?
Just living the podcast dream. I mean, who'd have thought when we started this that we'd be here? I mean, seriously, it's amazingly awesome. So, woo, 1500, baby. Yeah.
What's crazy is Andrew, my buddy on Twitter, that is always on there teaching me history all the time and New York Yankees information and all that good stuff and runs the wiki. He told me that we have actually passed the original guys at WDW today, and I thought they did I thought they were like in the billions of podcasts.
Right?
We've gone longer than them now. Crazy.
That's crazy awesome. Wow. Fantastic.
That is crazy.
Go us.
All right. Also joining us, we have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Pam Forrester. How's it going, Pam?
1500. Thankfully, we don't look a day over like 1400.
No, that's true. That's true.
I look rough.
How the years, I don't know. Like we maybe need to look back on those early year photos of us.
They are there too. Yes. They are on the Facebook page for sure. Yeah.
I think we look better now. Really.
I do too. Yeah.
I really do. So
Yes.
I'm feeling good about 1500. Bring on another. Bring on another 1500.
Right?
That's good. We're just starting the second 1500. So let's get going here again. The phone lines are open. If you want to give us a call, everybody watching live on Facebook, thanks for joining us today. It's 407-413-9395. You have a comment, question, feel free to join us. And until we get to that, you can also drop questions in the live chat over on Facebook. But let's get to the first question because I got this one a couple days
What
ago.
about my announcement?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We haven't announced it yet. So no, we don't normally have announcements. It's only took 1,500 shows. It's a big announcement, though. So, Rikki, go ahead with the announcement. Then I got it because this question, this email we got is awesome. So, go ahead.
You're making people think it's another kind of announcement because I'm giving it. But anyway, no, it's not. So today we are announcing information about the Be Our Guest podcast, a Give Kids the World fundraiser. So for 10 years, I have a little thing to read. So for 10 years, the Be Our Guest podcast has been proud to spread the magic, a little bit of magic, and help raise funds for Give Kids the World Village in Kissimmee, Florida. For those 10 years, our fantastic listeners have helped us to raise over $148,000 for the facility. This year, in honor of our 10-year anniversary, we have decided to make some exciting changes to allow for even more of our listeners to make a difference and be part of the fun. For 2019, we are introducing the Be Our Guest podcast Give Kids the World fundraiser extravaganza, and we are kicking off the festivities this year live from Give Kids the World on Friday, July 5th. During our introduction, we will be interviewing Give Kids the World President Pamela Landworth and showcasing the village and what it has to offer. We will even have some behind-the-scenes sneak previews of some of the exciting changes and additions that are taking place at the village. Participate in the fun and join us on our Be Our Guest podcast Facebook page on July 5th. Now, throughout the year, we will actually be holding 3 separate 4-hour live shows / auctions. Now, more details will be released on how these will work on July 5th. We believe that holding 3 separate live shows this year will allow more flexibility in our ability to raise even more money for Give Kids the World. Now, in addition, this year, the Be Our Guest podcast is proud to now partner with our friends at Magical Wishes for Kids. Magical Wishes for Kids is a 501c3 with a goal of helping to send critically ill children and their families on cost-free vacations to Central Florida through Give Kids the World Village. Magical Wishes for Kids is the sponsor of the popular indie Disney Meet, and the pairing between the Be Our Guest podcast and Magical Wishes for Kids is a perfect match, and we are so grateful to partner with this fantastic organization. The Be Our Guest podcast, Give Kids the World fundraiser extravaganza will still include the auction element. And this year, there's actually going to be 3 separate auctions, 1 for each live show. We are now accepting donations for the auction portion of our event. And for those who are looking to donate those items to the auction, please email me at bogpauction@gmail.com. That's the best email address to send anything to. So don't send it to my other ones if you said things in the past. The Be Our Guest podcast is excited to once again help raise money for Give Kids the World. This charity is special to all of our hearts because it is a goal. It's because of its goal to spread the magic. To find out more information, please visit beourguestpodcast.com. Follow along with us on Twitter and Instagram at beourguestpod or on Facebook at Be Our Guest Podcast. Sincerely, the Be Our Guest Podcast crew. So
that kind of sounds like you're reading a press release there, Rikki, a little bit.
It was. I wrote a little press release.
So let me summarize, as I used to do as a 6th grade teacher, because the kids would tune out.
I know, zone out after a while, yes.
Here's what's going to be on the quiz. We're going to be live July 5th from Give Kids the World. We get to wear hard hats. Apparently,
yes,
they're giving us hard hats to walk around. I want a hard hat. Well, anyway, we're going to be walking around, kind of showing some of the new construction down at the village, where your dollars are going to make a difference every time you donate during the 12-hour live show. And this year, we are going to divide it into 3 4-hour shows throughout the year. Because what we found out was, as fun as the 12-hour show is, and it may come back for year 11. We don't know. We may do another 12-hour live show in 2020. We don't know. Right. We're trying something new for the 10th anniversary. But what we heard was a lot of folks, would say, oh, man, the day you picked, we're on vacation or we're on a cruise or, we can't make it. It's a Little League tournament. And all of a sudden you miss the entire show and you had to wait till it got pieced out over the year. So this way you have 3 opportunities to join us. It'll be crazy because it'll be 4 hours at a time. So we'll still have long, lengthy shows with lots of guests from the Disney community. Yep. But 3 different times we're going to get together as a community and raise money for the great folks that Give Kids the World. So that's going to be awesome. You get to do it 3 times in 2019, not just once. So look at it that way. It's going to be a great time. Rikki, thanks for putting that all together. We're so excited. July 5th, we'll be down there.
Yes.
I'm so excited that they want to take us around.
Exactly. And we're all going to be there on July 5th. So, you know, that's the best part. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. And look for more information on July 5th. Yeah.
I know. It's awesome.
I mean, you got to try new things after 11 and a half years.
That's
you know,
right.
we want to make this better. And I know it's a lot of fun, the 12-hour show, but don't worry, we're still doing 12 hours live, crazy, all that stuff, donations, auctions. And partnering with Magical Wishes for Kids is an awesome idea.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
But Pam, give us more, because I don't really know all the details, but I know they're a great group, and it's going to help us kind of cover everything, cover our bases, and make it better.
We do, because now, I mean, so we've all been part of the Indie Disney Meet for quite a few years now. So now the organization that sort of puts that event on is sort of wrapping us in, and we get to be part of their overall fundraising goals. And I think that's huge, because then we get to we get to really centralize how we're doing that, and hopefully raise even more money for Give Kids the World, because that's where all the money from Magical Wishes for Kids goes through to do that. Plus, you get to see us at the Indie Disney Meet too again this year. So we're really excited about that. And it's going to just be a cool thing. I think it gives us the opportunity to do some things we haven't done before necessarily, and also promote some things that we haven't seen. So if you haven't thought about going to the Indie Disney Meet that is taking place in September, and you're within, I don't know, let's just say, right? Yeah, exactly. I won't limit it to continental US. I'm flying
in from Atlanta, so
if you can get there somehow, consider going, because we would love to see you there too. But yeah, it's going to be a great big fun thing, great big fun event. So we're looking forward to it.
September 21, Indianapolis, Indiana. Be there.
Right.
I'm broadcasting again live from the Indie Disney Meet on the main stage. We're going to have a good time. So thanks, everybody, for all the great wishes in the chat. We appreciate that so very much. But we have to get to the first email. This is why I love this podcast.
Okay.
This makes the 1500 shows awesome, because you get emails like, you got to go 1500 episodes before you start getting emails about this. The title of it is In Defense of the Fanny Pack.
Oh,
Rikki, remember we did that live call-in show? It aired this past Monday, where it was the advice for the class of 2019 Walt Disney World Travelers, where our listeners called in and gave their feedback. Yes. And somehow I think we got really off topic on fanny packs.
As we always do. Yeah. We totally got off topic on fanny packs. Yes, so we did.
I got so many tweets and emails about fanny packs. I was like, what is going on? Because we recorded that 2 weeks ago. So I know. What did I say? Okay, so here's what Tammy says. I love my fanny pack. There, I said it, all in cap. With that out of the way, hello, BOGP crew. By now, you realize I'm writing to tell you why I'm so glad fanny packs are back.
Wow.
Here we go. On our first Disney trip, I tried to carry my phone, camera, and wallet in a crossbody bag. Oh, man, that hurt, literally. I had to constantly switch the shoulder I was carrying the bag on, and when my child needed me to pick her up, the bag would get pulled, and I felt like I was being strangled. Never again. Before our last trip, I saw a fanny pack on the Disney website and decided to give it a shot. It was perfect, in all caps. I carried my phone, which is now also my camera. I was going to suggest that your phone could probably be your camera nowadays. Let's see, and wallet around my waist, and my neck and shoulders thanked me. I didn't have to dig through a big bag to find what I needed. Bonus, the fanny pack can double as a belt to hold up your pants. Ha! I love this. I always had the necessities on hand and could pick up my kids with ease. On rides, I usually just shifted the fanny pack to the side so I could pull down the lap bar in front of me. Super easy and super convenient. So this is a classic case of don't knock it till you've tried it. I recommend to anyone, especially moms, give it a try at Walt Disney World. I might be committing a fashion crime, but I'm enjoying the comfort and convenience. Rock on, fellow fanny pack fans, Tammy in Ohio. So there you go. She's given the statement for the fanny pack, and it comes to 1500. We're talking about how awesome fanny packs are, Pam. How you like that?
I say if that's what you like, then by all means, fanny pack it up. I mean, I'm not, it's not my personal choice. I don't know that it's it highlights the best parts of me, I will say. Whether I'm wearing it either in the front or the back.
Yeah.
I don't know that it does a lot for me personally. And I am a crossbody bag kind of girl. I bought a new one this year that I'm just totally in love with it. But I say, if that's what makes you happy, by all means, pull out the fanny pack.
No, don't pull out the fanny pack.
I still say I may rock the fanny pack, the Crocs with socks, and like a Sam Eagle hat for the meet on July 4th in Japan at 8:00.
And knowing what you have for the cruise, you very well may secretly have a fanny pack and Crocs to wear for our meet. So
it's gonna be sweet. Oh, man.
This is all I can say is that my husband within the last couple of weeks got a package in the mail, and he's usually I'm not going to give it away. He's usually not that excited about getting packages in the mail, but this particular package he was very excited about, and I was like, okay.
That's why we have fun. All right,
that's where we're going.
Is from Brian. It's a no park stay question. Hey, started listening to y'all a few months back, and I love the podcast. Listen to it all the time on the way to work. Me and my sister's family are planning a trip in April for a few days before our Disney cruise. We're looking to do all of the things outside the parks that we've never found time for doing because we're busy in the parks all day. Looking at staying at beach clubs, so Stormalong Bay is obviously on the list to do. What are your favorite non-park restaurants, activities, shows, etc.? Brian. All right, so I'm going to say check out mini golf. I'm just going to throw in a couple of the ones we always talk about. Mini golf, especially because you're close to that. Fantasia Gardens over there. But I actually like some Winterland.
Summerland, yeah.
Winter Summerland, yeah.
Something like that. That one's just more fun. I'm a Christmas guy. I like that. I like going over to the fountain and the Swan and Dolphin, kind of like Beaches and Cream. That's kind of an under the radar place you probably don't go often. Rikki, what about you? Give some other things. We got calls coming in, so we're going to get to calls right after this one. Right here.
So I'm going to say Splitsville for bowling. I think because you can eat there and you can go bowling. So that's my quick one.
An NBA experience will be open by next year.
Yes.
Dunk like a Raptor. All right, Pam,
Yeah.
what do you say?
I was going to say NBA experience, and then I thought I was going to be brilliant.
That's it. Yeah, sorry.
I thought it was going to be brilliant.
You were brilliant. You were.
If we're talking sporty sports, I mean, ESPN Club, of course, is always very sporty, but not quite that. Splitsville, yes. And I'm not. These are not things that are in my wheelhouse. I will just say, like these kind of things.
What about the Void? Void is good enough.
Yeah.
And I did the Void and really enjoyed myself. I thought it was just something that was, kind of different. I totally did not expect it. And it's so much more than I thought it would be. It's not just putting on a visor and doing that. It's so much more interactive than that. There's walking, there's shooting, there's, all kinds of things. So it was really a cool experience. And I would, definitely try that.
And we're totally going fishing out on Bay Lake while we're down there after the cruise.
That's right. Or you can rent a watercraft, or you can go do archery at Fort Wilderness, which is somewhat dangerous, it seems like, but
I'm concerned because
or horseback riding.
You can do all that stuff, but more concerning is I'm looking at the comments live on Facebook and everybody's going all in on fanny packs. Dude, they are bad.
Mike, apparently, and it's just me and you out on a lonely island somewhere.
Whatever, I'm going in. I'm in.
No, okay, Pam, it's just me and you out on a lonely island. No fanny packs.
I'm not going to do the pair.
We have a caller on the line. Let's see who it is. Hey, who's joining us?
Hi, it's Mackenzie.
Hey, Mackenzie. Thanks for calling in.
Mackenzie.
Good.
Thanks for your patience. I know we're yakking on about the fanny packs, so thanks for doing that.
No big deal.
We got to ask, pro fanny pack, anti fanny pack. I know we don't like to talk politics here on the show, but this is important.
I'm kind of anti fanny pack.
Yes, all right. Good.
I run with like a fanny pack, but it's like a small one. Like one that fits real close to your body and nobody can see it. So I'm like a secret fanny pack that you can't see person.
Well, that's it. It's the Running Buddy that we used to have as a sponsor. It's basically like a fanny pack for your iPhone. It's real small, but it's
amazing, and no one knows it's really actually there.
Exactly. All right. So anyway, we don't have one opinion here on 10 minutes of fanny pack talk. So what's going on? What are you up to?
Not much. I was just calling to say happy 1500. And I do have one question. We have a trip coming up in November. We're going to Wine and Dine for the first time. And then we're getting on a 4-day cruise. So I was wondering, we're going actually the week of the race, the Wine and Dine half marathon. And what is your best advice for tackling Wine and Dine when everyone's there for the race?
Whew, that's a busy weekend.
Food portion in Epcot.
Yeah, that's a busy weekend. And so
Yeah.
what I learned from doing that one, and you guys have both been down there the same weekend, but not running, but like we had meets and stuff over that weekend a lot of years, is if you can get there, I don't know how your schedule's working out, but if you can get there like on Thursday's the day to go to Food and Wine Festival, right when it opens at 11 o'clock. Because as soon as it gets to be the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and all the runners are there, plus it's usually Jersey week. And I want to say a lot of times it's Veterans Weekend. I mean, it is just like it's an intersection of like a lot of stuff.
This year it's actually October 31st is the start of Wine and Dine weekend.
Yeah.
So it's a little early. It's a little earlier this year.
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday.
It's kind of almost in the middle of Halloween too.
Yeah.
Like we're actually arriving the Tuesday before. So I'm the crazy person who keeps asking all the questions about being scared about the Halloween party at Universal.
Oh, gotcha. You'll have fun.
And that's me. So Tuesday we're going to the Halloween party at Universal, and then we'll be at Disney the rest of the week through the half marathon, and then we get on the cruise. So I could do it like Wednesday or Thursday. If that would help beat the crowd.
That's choice. Yeah.
Me too.
I would try to avoid Epcot on the weekend and do that for like Magic Kingdom, any of the other parks. You know,
and if you can,
it's nuts.
if you can do the Wednesday, that would probably be more ideal because people will start coming in on Thursday a little bit for Wine and Dine. So I would try to do Wednesday if you could. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the advice. I know I haven't been to Disney World since 2014, so I have a lot of new things to catch up on. But I definitely want to do Wine and Dine while the event's there.
Oh, it's fun. It's a good weekend. And where are you staying?
We're staying at Pop Century the whole time.
Awesome.
Cross your fingers for the gondolas. You'll have some.
They should be open by then, I assume. Yeah.
I know we purposely got a not preferred room to hopefully be closer to the gondolas.
Oh, that's crazy. I did the same thing for Marathon Weekend.
That's funny.
So far, Disney hasn't caught on yet and started charging more for the not preferred rooms because they're closer to gondolas. One day, we know it's going to go up.
That'll be the gondola view.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's it. Well, Mackenzie, thank you so much for calling in. We sure appreciate it, and have a good run down there, Wine and Dine, if we don't talk to you.
Yep, and enjoy Halloween Horror Nights. You're going to have fun. I promise.
Oh, thanks, I will.
You do know the middle word, and that is horror, right? I mean, you're worried about being scared. It's called Horror Night.
And then someone comes out with a chainsaw.
Put a Rikki Nimblet option on it. So I bought my husband like the Express Pass, and I'm going to go ride all the non-scary rides. Like I'm going to go like
what I do. That
in
is
all the other parts of the park, and he can go do all the scary parts. So
100% exactly what I do. That you got it. Perfect. That's exactly the key to do. So you're good.
Just so you know, Mackenzie,
Yeah,
the best ride in the park, E.T. Make sure you ride it.
No, that's closed for Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh.
You can't ride that for Halloween Horror Nights. It's
I'm
closed.
not going then. That's my favorite ride. Forget it.
Sorry.
All right. Mackenzie, thanks
Well,
so
y'all
much
have
for
a good
calling.
night.
All right, take
All
care.
right.
Thanks
Bye.
so much. Bye.
Oh, that's so funny.
Roar!
Somebody comes out the chainsaw. Roar! All right, you got another call. We're being patient. Let me hit this button here. And who's joining us? Hello, caller. I hear you.
Hey, this is Scott from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, Scott.
Congratulations on the 1,500 episodes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Quick question. We're splurging to stay at the Animal Kingdom the 4th of July week, so I don't know if we're going to get to eat. Could you name some table services that are not real expensive? Like the character dining for a family of 4 seems to be about $150 to $200. So what are some table services that are not real expensive, and maybe some quick services that are good and not real expensive?
Dan
And
Forster.
congratulations, and I'll listen off there.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Hey, Smucker's makes Uncrustables just in case you get in the
Well, we've already got some.
Okay, good.
All right,
You
good,
get
good.
fun there, right? Okay, and we want to see you at Japan 4th of July. If you can make it, I know you're busy, but we'd love to see you there. We're having a meetup 4th of July, 8 o'clock.
All right, we'll do our best. All right.
All right.
Hey,
yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. We'll
Thank
answer
you.
your question. All right, thank you so much. All right, Pam, take this one. Where's some good bets for them to do some? He's worried about starving because they're splurging on the hotel.
I know. I hear you, my friend. But you know what? Not only are there table service locations that are less expensive, but there are also going to be some interesting, like, they're not really table service. They're not really quick service. They're sort of a melding of both. So I'm going to suggest a few to you. First of all, how about the new Three Bridges location right there at Coronado? I'm going to give that a shot. It technically is table service, right? Because it's not quick service, but definitely less expensive. Plus, it looks beautiful.
Yes.
It really looks so good. So, looking forward to that. And just like Three Bridges, you also have Geyser Point over at Wilderness Lodge. And that's just a quick boat ride away from the Magic Kingdom. So if you're hanging out at Magic Kingdom that day, you can take a boat ride over to Wilderness Lodge and get a meal right there in the open air Geyser Point. They have some great food, some good drinks, and again, it's not something that's going to break the bank. I think Disney Springs also has a lot of good places to go, and you may find some less expensive options. Deluxe Burgers is technically a counter service, but they really do have some great meals, so I would consider that as well. There's also new one is Chicken Guy and Pepe's by Jose Andre, and some good food that's really being cranked out by that. Wolfgang Puck has a quick service that, once again, eats a lot like a table service when you are there. They even bring the food to you at Wolfgang Puck Express. Wolfgang Puck also has a new grill, but it can be a little pricier than maybe what you're looking for. So do that. And I think that oftentimes if you're looking for a less expensive table service, if you go to one of the resorts, you'll find that. So think about, in particular, boat rights over at Port Orleans, right? Old Key West, which is Mike's favorite. I know, right? Maya Grill, another location there that is less expensive. Sanaa can be a less expensive option over at Animal Kingdom Lodge because it's not a buffet. So, I don't think Boma is outrageously priced, but it is an all you care to enjoy. So, of course, the base price for everyone is going to be a little more expensive. And just, try to go to some of those off the beaten path places. I'm going to put in one more shout for a place that we've really come to enjoy, and that is Sebastian's over at Caribbean Beach. That location, that restaurant, first of all, if you step in that and you're not like, wow, this place is really pretty, then I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, it's Mike. No.
Do they let you go in there with Crocs and fanny packs?
They do. It's not fancy schmancy. It's just pretty.
No,
and the food's really good. So, and any place that has rolls with lots of different things to dip them in as an appetizer, that's like check.
Oh, the butter with that was so
good, right? Yeah. So anyway.
All right. We had a caller trying to get in here from the 970. So if you give us a call, we'll put you right at the top. I know we've been, we're going to miss, as soon as you called, somebody else will call, and we had people on the line. So give us a call here, 407-413-9395. Thanks again to everybody with all the great, kind words in the chat. We appreciate that so very much. Let's hop into, here it is. With a different caller, but hey, we'll call her nonetheless. Let's get it in. Hey, who's joining us from the 732 area code?
Hello?
You're on the air. Who's joining us?
Hey, this is Matt from New Jersey. How you doing?
Hey, Matt. Good to talk to you.
Hey, I just wanted to say congrats on the 1500. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, I actually, so one of my last trips when I was a teenager was back in 2004. Then I didn't go again until 2013. And so I didn't really know a lot about how to plan a trip for Disney. So during that time, that's actually when I found you guys all the way back in 2013, and I've been listening ever since. So thank you guys for all the memories and episodes, and I can't believe you guys still put out 3 a week, which is insane. So that's great. Thank you.
Yes, insane is the correct word. Yes.
Yeah. I was having this conversation with Matt Parrish when we recorded. If you haven't checked it out, it was on Wedway Radio this week. We talked about the Disney parks at night, and we did back-to-back shows that night. I said, okay, if I'll do a Wedway Radio, if you do a Be Our Guest podcast with me, because I need to do a bunch of shows because I'm going on vacation. So yeah, it's one of those things like I can't believe we do this many shows. We're kind of out of our mind. That night we were delirious by the end. So we appreciate that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Hey, real quick,
Yeah,
how did you find the show? I'm always curious about that. Like initially, like how'd you come across our podcast?
Most likely it was just like trip planning podcast because I started a new job where I found podcasts for the first time. So I think I was probably searching like Disney podcasts, and yours was probably one of the few that I found at the time. So that's what I'm assuming, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah, it's definitely not that way anymore. It seems like everybody's got a podcast now.
Yeah. Well,
You
I mean,
get a Disney
Mike
podcast.
inspired me.
And you get a Disney podcast.
Yeah, I mean, you guys all inspired me. I have my own Disney podcast now.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so it's a lot of fun. But I had one quick question that I know you guys will be able to answer because you guys go with friends all the time. So it's actually kind of funny. I think Mackenzie, that was her name, who was just on the call. I'm actually going the same exact week as her. I'm going because I'm from New Jersey. We're going with a couple who's a school teachers, so they have off. So we're visiting throughout the whole week. We're leaving Halloween, and we're there until the following Saturday. But so two of our friends are staying in the new Grand Destino Tower at Coronado Springs, and we're staying at Oak Key West. So my question is, like, one of the days we have where we want to relax and go to the pool, say if we wanted to go to Coronado to swim at their pool since they're guests, are we allowed to do that? Because I know, like, Disney frowns upon other people visiting pools, but, like, how does that work? What are the rules there?
Pam, what do you think?
The official rule is you can't do that. That there's most of the pools. Well, there's a lot of the pools now where they're actually either requiring you to scan your Magic Band to get in, or they come along with a portable scanner to scan your Magic Band while you're there. So that's just not something that Disney allows guests to do. And just because I think when they design the pools, they're really thinking about the number of people who can be accommodated there comfortably from their resort. So they're not expecting folks from other resorts. So unfortunately, that's not something you can do. You can eat there, you can shop there, you can do all those kinds of things, though.
It's kind of a shame. It's kind of a shame.
figured.
Yeah. I mean, I get it though, because you can't have everybody would descend on like the best pool or the perceived best pool. And then it might, say you're staying there and you're paying your money. You can't get into the pool. That's kind of, you can't get a chair, a lounger. That's an issue. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it kind of stinks because you do want to all hang out and have a pool day. I get that too.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I figured I'd ask because I'm not one to I don't like to break the rules, especially when it comes to Disney. I don't want to get on Disney's bad side. So
I heard in the fall.
Right, cool.
I heard in the fall there's going to be a TV show called Live PD Walt Disney World. They're
going to bust you.
That would honestly be really entertaining.
Oh my god,
that would be. Oh my gosh, yes.
That'd be.
Oh, they should put that on Disney Plus. Just the security of Disney. Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. Please, Disney, do that. That would be great.
Asking for new content. They've actually put out calls for it. I'm going to submit that.
That would be fantastic.
Well, hey, thanks for calling. Hey, what's your show? What's your show? Tell us about that real quick.
So, Mike, we talked about it. I was actually on your New Year's Eve show this past year. I'm at Excess Press.
That's right. Okay, I just want to make sure because we get so many calls, I have a hard time connecting the dots. So that's cool. So people can check it out.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, take care. Good. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. All right.
Have a great night.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, that is kind of a shame, but it is the rules, because Disney has to control everybody. All right, here's the call we've been trying to get all day. Oh, I got it. There we go. Finally, they've been so patient from the 970. Who's joining us?
Oh, I've never been called patient, so woohoo!
Hey, it was like you were trying to win a radio contest for like a Mustang. Or
I know.
I
feel like I won a pizza or something.
Sorry. All you won was talking to us three suckers. So
That's right. That's it. That's it.
100 show. Come on now. I feel like I'm a guest speaker or something on the show now.
You are.
Of course you are.
All right. So here's the game. I want you to script Lucy and Ethel going to Walt Disney World. What would that look like? Because that's kind of my friendship with this girl that we're going to Disney in September. So what would that look like for you? Lucy and Ethel.
First of all, 90% of our audience have no idea who Lucy and Ethel are. I do.
I get it.
But you guys do.
Oh, I totally did. Yeah, I mean,
You've been around 1,500 episodes.
That's it. And I was watching Love Boat all day while I was working in the office. So, getting ready for the cruise. I just hope the doc isn't on our cruise. That guy is creepy. I've realized, like the doc, whatever his name was with the big glasses, he's kind of creepy. Anyway, so Lucy and Ethel going to Walt Disney World. Pam, take a stab. Where are they staying? What do they do? They're definitely staying at a value because they've hid money from Fred and Rikki.
And Rikki.
Like they're not really supposed to be going. They've worked part-time jobs, like doing the commercials for Vitamin and Vegemin or whatever. They're staying at Pop Century. How's it going, Pam, from there? It's a tough one.
Oh my gosh.
I definitely think they're staying at value, but I'm thinking they're going to stay at Pop Century because it has a theming to it.
Yes.
The only other place, of course, that I could see them staying is at is Music the one where they have the
Maracas?
Yes.
yes,
love it.
Calypso.
Yes, because yes, right. So they need to get like the head
Carmen
thing.
Miranda?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
The headdress. Yeah.
Well,
Oh my God.
So-
Lucy and Ethel scored free dining at Coronado Springs.
Ooh,
That
there you
was scripted for you. So
nice.
beyond that, what does a day look like
gosh.
for us? Ridiculous fun with your BFF.
When is it going to be?
September.
All right. So obviously you have to do food and wine. I mean, you have to. That's you got to go around and all the booths and try the different things, pick up things you wouldn't normally get because you're Lucy and Ethel. So you're gonna be trying things that maybe sound a little different to you that you wouldn't normally get because you have free dining, so you can use all those snack credits on all the unique options that you maybe wouldn't get yourself. So I definitely think that maybe you're taking in one of the seminars that they have. I think they have some really great seminars that they offer. There are some that are on the cheaper side and some that are maybe on the more expensive side, but I think that would be a really great opportunity for the two of you. I think that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think food and wine is going to be key in this one.
And plus, our live chat's giving you some great ideas. Halloween party while you're there, that'd be fun. I think you need to definitely have matching shirts.
Yes.
Or some kind of a cool
and
thing.
matching ears. I think that would be cute. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do the Donald Duck butt ears that Ricky's such a fan of.
I love my Donald Duck butt ears. They're amazing.
She's the one that bought the one pair.
I am the one that bought the butt ears, and I'm not mad about it.
You can already buy them for $3 at the Character Warehouse.
I don't care. I gladly paid full price for those.
Anyway,
so.
and then
I would do those over the matching fanny packs.
Thank you.
Oh, we're getting made here. We're an equal opportunity podcast here. Okay, so Eric in the chat says big performance number with Yeehaw Bob. I could see some high kicks.
I like that.
For sure.
Definitely, that'd be something Apple and Lucy be doing.
Okay.
So Pam, anything else? We're gonna close out here, but what? This is awesome. I can't believe it.
I think you're gonna do one of the more fun dining experiences.
Yeah.
I think you do. Yeah, like Hoopty-Doo or Ohana, you're going to be doing some of the dancing at Ohana. Get up when they call for the kids to come do the coconut race. I think you guys should get in on that for sure. That's absolutely up your alley. Hoopty-Doo is a fun one too. Sit down front so you can get pulled into the show a little bit. I think that would be fun.
Whispering Canyon.
Yes, order ketchup. Order ketchup for sure.
Or 50s prime time because it's the 50s.
Yeah, 50s prime time would be like
true.
Lucy would be on the table while you guys are there. On the TV while you're at the table.
Right.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
I think that's a good call.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
hey, thanks for calling and thanks for being so consistent. Thanks for listening.
I love it.
And let us know.
I hope you guys have a great time. It's going to be so much fun.
Thanks. For sure we will. And I have to talk to you about it because we can't talk to our husbands. It's a sore
Yes.
subject. Fred and Rikki are really cranky about us going. So
Got it. Makes
I
sense.
kind of feel like Fred a lot of the days. It's like an old man just wandering through life a little aimless. That's
Oh
kind
my
of
gosh. That's funny.
I picture you more as a Rikki guy with dancing around.
I like it. Yeah, I could do that. If I could have any talent,
That's awesome.
I'd be there.
That's awesome.
What did he say? What was his big line?
Lucy, you have some splaining to
yeah,
do.
yes,
Yes, you have some explaining to do. Yes.
that's it.
So
Here's
here's
a lot.
here's a little funny story. My dad is actually named
Rikki
after
Ricardo.
little Ricky, and so then I'm named after my dad. So in a grand scheme of things,
That's funny.
I'm named after little Ricky from I Love Lucy.
Holy
So.
cow. Episode 1500, we find out Rikki is named after Rikki Ricardo Jr.
I am. It's spelled different, but yes, in the grand scheme of things, I'm essentially
Little
named after little Ricky. Yeah. So
Oh, that is classic. I'm
Yeah.
so glad you called now because I had no idea.
All right. Thank you
Thanks
guys
so
you
so much.
learn.
Really
See
appreciate
what
it.
you learn. Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
That's awesome. I didn't know that, Rikki. God,
Yeah. My dad's named after little Ricky, and I'm named after him. So I'm essentially named after little Ricky. Yeah.
Crazy. We have folks being in Australia. Hey, good morning.
That's
down there.
awesome.
So cool. All right, let's take one more phone call here on episode 1500. If you want to call 474-139-395. First, I know a lot of people have been trying to get in.
How are we at the end?
I know, well, we're getting close. I mean, I don't want to go too. We'll see, maybe because we don't want to go too fast on a caller, though. I don't want to rush through.
That's right.
I like to talk to everybody. That's what we do.
I love it.
All right, 407-413-9395. Next call, we'll get you on the line, and just don't put us in sitcoms here because it's like too hard. It's puts us on.
That was a good question,
That
though.
was
Made you
a good
think. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, we have our next caller on the line. Hey, who's joining us?
Hi, this is Elizabeth from Chatham, Illinois.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Across the river.
So I got back from a week at Coronado Springs, which was amazing. And first of all, I want to say thanks to Mike for helping us with the trip.
Thank you for the opportunity.
To all of you. Thanks to all of you for the podcast, because I first discovered the podcast when we were planning our first Disney trip 3 years ago in 2016 and got totally hooked. I used to be a total Disney skeptic, and
That's funny.
you guys have done me in.
So,
And now she's calling in on a Disney podcast. Yes. I love it.
So I wanted to share a couple things with you. One was we did all 4 parks in one day while I was there. It was just me and my daughter, who's 11. I think I almost killed her.
I would kill
But
Mallory.
we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we would never make it. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, we just, I can tell you what did it was in the middle of the day, we were so dead at one point that we were at Hollywood Studios, and we went to Brown Derby to see if they could just take us. And I figured if we had to go someplace where we could sit in air conditioning and have table service. So we actually did that for lunch at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we also I had reservations for 1900 Park Fair that night, which is, my daughter loves the Grand Floridian. So that was a nice chance for us to just sit and relax for a while too.
Ooh, two comments there real quick, Elizabeth. One, that's the Pam Forster rule. You got to have an air-conditioned sit-down meal during the heat of the day. So there, nodding,
Absolutely.
loving that. And you do know at 1900 Park Fair, they take your picture if you're tore up looking from like a 4 parks in one day attempt, and they hang it back in the kitchen. We're pretty sure we're back there. We were tore up the day we went there because we had been in the rain, we'd been in the heat, we'd been going all day. We had to stop, and we're pretty sure it was the worst picture ever with the stepsisters.
I know. If only we
I
would
know
have
it was
it.
terrible.
Oh man, it was so fun. So how did it end up? How'd you close it out?
So we did. It was a Wednesday night. So we did. There was extra magic hours at Magic Kingdom. So we started at Animal Kingdom at like 8:30 in the morning and finished at Magic Kingdom at like midnight. So we
That
went.
is a day. And that is a day. Yes.
So after we went to 1900 Park Fair, then we went to Magic Kingdom and saw Happily Ever After, and then we did a couple rides and bought a souvenir. Our goal was to do 2 rides, some kind of food, and a souvenir in each park. And the souvenir that I thought we'd do was just little magnets, because I figured we could get one for each park and they're cheap. Well, turns out they don't make magnets for all the parks. There's no Magic Kingdom magnet, and there's no Hollywood Studios magnet.
How's there not a Magic Kingdom magnet?
Right?
Wow.
Did you check?
So we got general magnets, but they don't make we got an actual Animal Kingdom magnet, and we got an Epcot magnet, but for the two other parks, they don't actually make a specific magnet. And we asked.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I thought I've seen
Isn't that
those.
weird?
That's
That
weird.
is weird. Yes.
That's a good
Missed
scenario.
opportunity. Yeah.
I thought they did too. That's so weird.
I'm looking.
It does seem very strange. All the magnets that they have, and they don't have them for Magic Kingdom. That's very strange.
It is.
But the other thing that we did that I thought the three of you would appreciate is we were at Coronado Springs for the whole week leading up to the opening of Three Bridges, and our last night was the night it opened. But 2 nights before our last night, they were doing soft openings all week, and every time we walked by, there were all these cast members and everything. Well, Saturday night we were at Disney Springs, and we needed to eat, and everything was completely crowded because it was Saturday night at Disney Springs. So we decided we'd go back to Coronado Springs, order a pizza for our room, and just eat in our room. Well, we're walking across Three Bridges, walking over to Casitas, and the woman was standing out front greeting people as they've been doing all week. And she actually greeted us, and she said, hello. And she said, would you like to eat on us at Three Bridges tonight? We're doing a soft opening.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And you're like, yes, I will like to.
Absolutely, yeah. And my daughter was like, I just want to go back to the room and eat pizza. I'm like, no, we're eating for free, eating and drinking for free on Disney at Three Bridges, and nobody else has gotten in yet. Yeah, we're doing this.
Yes. How was it?
So I had 2 drinks because they said order whatever you want, anything you like.
That's crazy.
So I had a couple drinks which were really good. The mixed drink list is very long. Pam, you will love it.
Good. I'm really looking forward to it. I like that there are people checking stuff out for me.
That's right.
And we had various things from, the menu is not a long menu. It really is like, it's a book, but there's 1 page of food and like 10 pages of drinks.
Got it.
But it was, it's amazing. The food was really good. The food that we did have, we had the manchego cheese dip, which was really good. They had some stuffed mushrooms with impossible meat chorizo. So impossible meat is a plant-based meat that they use for hamburgers and stuff like that. And it was real spicy chorizo flavored. And we had, and I guess my daughter wanted a veggie burger, and so it wasn't on the menu, but they made it for her anyhow.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's cool.
It was beautiful. It's so lovely. It is absolutely spectacular.
So have you been to Geyser Point?
I have not.
Okay, I was wondering, because I'm really curious, like if somebody could compare the two once they
seem super similar from what I've seen. Yeah, they seem super similar. So
I'm so excited for this.
What's really interesting is that it's totally open on 3 sides. Like they don't even have anything to close it off. I actually have a former student of mine who's a manager at Coronado Springs right now. And we were talking, and I said, you mean there's nothing? There are no screens. There's nothing to close it down, like if you have a hurricane or anything? She said, no. She said, I'm guessing this is going to change eventually, but there was nothing.
Interesting.
Nothing protecting you from the elements.
I don't think Geyser Point has anything really to protect you. Now I think about it.
I bet they have like shutters or something that comes down, don't you think? I mean, I would imagine. Maybe
I don't know that they do. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we need to look into this more.
I'm so excited for this place. You don't even know.
It's going to be awesome.
We have all these like big things coming. I'm excited for the space restaurant. I'm excited for the gondolas. And I'm excited for Three Rivers, or Three Rivers.
Three Bridges.
Yeah.
You're pulling my Pittsburgh into it.
And I really wish the gondolas had been. We saw them going back and forth. It was so much fun to see them, but I really was sad that they weren't actually in action.
They're totally they're taunting us at this point.
They are.
They are. This is eye candy. You can't ride these yet. Well,
pretty much.
So Coronado Springs, though, it lived up to the hype, right? Because I love that place.
Oh yeah. Well, we stayed there last year. We were in cabanas, and I had requested cabanas that year. I specifically requested certain things, and this time I thought I was debating whether I wanted to request anything, and I just decided, you know what? No, I'm just going to let them put me where they put me. And so they put us in Casitas 5, which was fabulous. It's a really, really nice location. And with the bridges, it's so easy to get to the pool from there. And when we were in Cabanas, we didn't really use the Mercado stuff at all. We didn't go to El Centro at all. And this time we were in and out of there a lot. So
it's so funny though.
Really great.
Pam, like I know you and I are really huge fans. You kind of really sold me on Coronado in the first place, and I cannot be more excited for this resort, especially how they're growing it now and making it better. But it's so funny how something like, it sounds so distant when you look at it from outside, if you don't know how everything works, but adding 3 literal bridges across the lagoon, right, are going to improve this resort so much.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Lagoon anymore. I mean, Pam, it's so weird how something that small.
It's going
to up guest satisfaction so much.
So that was one of the issues with Coronado in the past, was that people who were staying, for instance, at the Rancho section, they felt you really do sort of have to walk the long way around the resort to kind of get to that main building. And this is really going to effectively eliminate that in so many ways. But by the same token, people who were staying in the casitas felt like they had to walk a fair way to get to the main pool, the feature pool. And now that's really going to eliminate so much of this. So it's such a plus for this fantastic resort that I always enjoyed, and now it's going to be so much easier. So that's awesome to hear.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, it was wonderful. We had a great stay.
I'm going over.
Really
we're staying at Riverside, and then we're staying over at Yacht Club after the cruise. But I'm definitely heading over to check out 3 bridges. Oh, can't wait.
Oh, you have to. You have to. And it's not really traditional table. I mean, it's table service in that they bring you your fruit to the table, but it's not. It's not a dining credit. It's not. You can't make reservations. You just walk up and sit down if they have a space. It's neat.
That's the kind of places we need. We need that quick, casual, just good food. Excited.
Right.
All right. Well, Elizabeth, thanks so much for calling in, giving us that review. And
yes.
We like it. We're so glad that you tried it.
So excited to try it myself. It's going to be amazing.
Next time you're down there, give me a holler, because it sounds like you're the good luck charm to get some free food and drinks.
Right?
Well, it worked once anyhow.
That's right.
Okay. Well, thanks you guys. Thanks for the podcast.
All right. Take care.
Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
That's awesome. Well, tell me you don't feel like you hit the jackpot when something like that happens. Like,
seriously.
All you can eat and drink? Heck yeah.
This for 2 decades, Disney. I'm making it up.
I mean, I'm sure there were limitations on that, but still.
Right?
They want to try stuff out. All right. Well, hey, we're running way long, but we just want to thank everybody. Huge thank you. 1,500 episodes would not have happened. 5 episodes would not have happened without your support for everything we do over the past 11 plus years. So thank you for tuning in. One request here at episode 1,500, spread the word about the show. When you listen, hit that share button on your whatever it is, your podcast player. There's always a share button for the episode. Let people find out, maybe they haven't heard of the show, and we'll get some new listeners. We'll have more call-ins. Speaking of call-in shows, I'm going on vacation 6 days, heading down to Walt Disney World for the podcast cruise, staying at Riverside before, all that good stuff. So to get ahead, because we're never going to leave you without shows. We consistently put out 3 shows a week. We're going to have a live show tomorrow night. That's Thursday night this week, 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central, taking more of your calls. So if you want to call in and talk about, I don't know, the honeymooners or Brady Bunch, and talk about how they would vacation, whatever. We're going to have a good time talking about all the stuff happening at the Disney destinations tomorrow night. Facebook Live. We'll be taking your calls, 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central. That's Thursday night. That would be the June, 19th, I believe. So it's the day after your show.
It's the 20th. Is
the 20th.
Is the day.
All right, Thursday night, 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central. Join us. And this Sunday night, we're going to have another live call-in show. So 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central this Sunday night as well. So 2 opportunities to be a part of the show. So we really hope you'll join us for some future episode recordings. So we can get that out there and have a good time talking about what's on your mind, answering questions, comments, just talking Disney with you. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by our friends over at virtualmickey.com, home of great iPhone apps like Theme Park News, Disney Edition. Rikki, what's going on in the Disney universe right now?
Well, I'm slacking. I was not prepared on this one. Okay, so one of my favorite things is, I know this sounds so silly and so stupid, but it's back again. The Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Live is back at Epcot. And you know how you were talking about being excited about like the 3 bridges and everything? Like, this is kind of what I'm super excited about seeing when we're down there for 4th of July. which I know is so dumb. But the Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Live happens at the American Gardens Theater. And it happens multiple times a night or a day. It happens. It's going to happen until August 18th, and they're going to have some special food offerings as well. So if you want to grab a snack over at Liberty Inn or at Fife and Drum, you can do so. Maybe don't grab the pulled pork looking burger. That might not be a good option. I've seen some pictures of the bun where it does not look super appetizing.
Is that the green one? Yeah. That green
So
bun. Oh no, man. That just did not look right.
it looks like somebody got a moldy burger. But they do have a pulled pork, like French fries with barbecue pulled pork and mac and cheese and bacon and lettuce. I mean, that's a heart attack waiting to happen, but at least it doesn't look like you're gonna get sick off of it immediately. So
I always said you'll die happy.
You'll die happy. And then Fife and Drum has the adorably named I Am Root beer float. Get it? I love it. That's cute.
Yeah, that is cute.
So anyway, go grab a snack and then go watch the Awesome Mix live because it really is awesome and cheesy and fantastic, and I can't wait. I'm seriously like, Pam, we're so doing it, and I don't even care what you say.
I love it.
It was one of the most fun things that I remember us doing last year, and now we get to drag Mike into it, and it's going to be awesome.
I saw it last year. I enjoyed the show. I just
you're coming with us, and we're going to have a dance party, just the three of us.
I'm ready. I'm in.
Fantastic.
Dance off.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm ready, dude. Fanny pack, Crocs, and socks, man.
I'm so excited. Anyway.
All right, good stuff. So forget the burger and go see the show and check out all the information at Theme Park News Disney Edition, free iOS app. So put on your Apple device today. Give us a follow on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestPod and at BeOurGuestMike. I'll be lighting up my social media here in 6 days, so follow along. Taking lots of pictures and all that good stuff. And of course, Facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Live show Thursday night, live show Sunday night. Give us a call. We're going to be talking Disney with you. All right, well, it's time to get out of here. Of course, we'll be back again on Friday where we start the next 1,500 episodes of the show. We're going to have 1,501 headed your way. So until then, thanks for all the calls. Thanks for being a part of everything we've done. We cannot do this without you, and we love doing this. It's the highlight of my week, so thank you so very much. For Rikki and Pam, this is Mike wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to head back to work, and we'll see you real soon. Dude, George, you can't wear sneakers, man. I had to use borrowed clothes to get into Palo one time when I was there because I forgot my dress pants. I had to wear a tux, like tux pants. He was asking if he could get away with tennis shoes. I don't think so. They're strict.
They are very strict. They will not. No.
Say this again. Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, George was asking if he could wear tennis shoes, get away with tennis shoes.
Oh, no.
Dude, I had to borrow pants.
Sorry.
And dress shoes. I know, dude. Well, they have dress shoes, though. I had to wear rentals. They had them in the closet. They were like shiny black, like tuck shoes. And I had
just
them.
Casual shoes. You can just bring casual shoes.
He doesn't want to pack them, I think.
Sorry.
Okay, Jenny Lee, we're going to be doing the first part of the live show on July 5th, live from Give Kids a World. So details.
Well, it's not the first. It's not the first. It's not the first of the three. Like it's a special like introduction to what we're doing. Yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for some of these names. Like I've seen like Nicola, like years ago, but I haven't seen her in a while. So thank you. Gosh, that's the greatest thing. Like over 1,500 episodes. So I mean, so many of these shows are like, a third of them are our guests talking about their trips. That was always the best. That's fun. All right, so what are we talking about for the Friday show? I totally forgot to write it down. I was trying to think about it during the.
You would think after 1,500 we would know what the heck we're doing.
It was Port Orleans in first quarter. Yes.
Yes.
Also, Pam, I do have a question. I was looking at Fast Passes, and I know that Fast Pass has been wonky. Did you make Fast Passes for Brian and I for 4th of July weekend?
I don't think I made any after we had talked.
Okay, I know you made. I know there are some in there, so I'll just see if I can make some for the same time period.
Anything I made after we had talked, I included you in.
Okay, I'll double check. I just don't know because Fast Pass Plus and my Disney Experience are wonky right now. So I just wanted to make sure. But I was looking in there earlier today, and I meant to ask you earlier, so I forgot to ask. So yeah, I'll double check.
Jenny Lee, I'll be counting on you calling in either Thursday night or Sunday night, please. It'd be great to talk to you from down in Australia. That'd be awesome. I know. I titled "Where in the World." That was my idea, and it got voted down. So Eric, he's trying to be smarter. I know. It says on the Be Live, I put the show title because I didn't know what it was going to be.
Oh,
It was a fun idea that would have been about a 7-minute show. So we'll do that sometime during a live show. That'd be a good one for a live show. People are calling and we could play a game. That's because it's
that
fun.
would be fun. Yes, I like that.
All right, so let's do this, and because I got to get upstairs, and I'm sure I'm frantic. I'm so stressed. If I'm not available to my wife, I will be killed this week, and I will not be available a whole lot.
No.
All right, here we go. 1501. Welcome to episode 1501 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. And if you haven't heard, happy 2020 Walt Disney World booking season. That's right. If you're thinking about heading down to Walt Disney World anytime in 2020, finally, I've been getting all those emails. You guys burned out my email address asking, hey, when are those 2020 packages going to become available? I'm like, I don't know. And then I started saying June 18th. And now I'm saying, let's do it. Let's get it done before I go down on the cruise, especially. But we have agents standing by. We have a great team over at the Magic for Less helping you get everything squared away for 2020. Of course, you can now add tickets and dining to that package. So if you have a room only, we can get that squared away as well. So it's a great time. And 2020 is an exciting time to be at Walt Disney World. Of course, a little Star Wars action down there, new transportation systems, new restaurants, and much more. So check that out. All the details over at themagicforless.com. And we'll be talking about that moving forward here on the show. But today, you know what? We actually started a mini series last Friday and didn't even mean to do it. But one of our listeners said, emailed me and said, you know what? I love that comparison of Beach Club and Yacht Club because there's pros and cons to each. And we kind of discussed those. We didn't mean to. Well, I mean, we're just talking about the two resorts. And he asked if we would kind of do the same thing as a mini series for some of the resorts down at Walt Disney World that are considered basically sister resorts. So today we are going to jump onto that bandwagon and talk about Disney's French Quarter versus Disney's Port Orleans Riverside. What are the pros and cons to each? Why might you pick one over the other? Which ones have, advantages, disadvantages? So we're going to have the conversation today. So joining me, of course, we have Rikki from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less. And I didn't wish you happy 1500, so happy 1501, Rikki. What's going on?
Thanks. You're the best. Happy 1501, everybody. Woo, we made it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, just looking forward to another great weekend here. So, not as Instagrammy, let's just say, as last weekend was, but maybe it will be Instagrammy. I don't know. We'll see.
Mallory calls it now. Everything she says is she always comes up to me and says, is that for the gram?
Nice.
That's her thing. I'm like, yeah, of course that's for the gram. That's why I ordered that outfit for the cruise. It's for the gram.
Exactly. Yes.
All righty. Also joining us, we have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester. Pam, happy Friday. What's going on?
Happy Friday. My time is coming very quickly before I have to go to Disney. Well, not have to, but I'll be leaving to go on the cruise and then to Walt Disney World and stuff like that. So I can't believe it is finally coming. You plan these group cruises like 2 years in advance or so, a little less, depending on, when the things are announced. And it goes so quickly. And I can't believe this is the 5th one we've done. So anyways, just was thinking about that, reflecting a little bit today.
Yeah, I was looking at all the pictures on the, over the years that we always do a group picture or two during the cruise. And the thing when I was just go real quick, I mean, I can't wait to go on this cruise again. This is always the highlight of my every other year, the odd year excitement, I call it. The best pictures, though, are kind of the ones where there's one of me that I have with Mike Bankhead, and he's wearing a Wedway Radio T-shirt, and we're having pizza back at the end of the boat, like 11:30 at night. And that's just the good times. We had, Scott being hypnotized and playing a piccolo last cruise. That was a good time. It's just like there's so many memories, but it's never anything that's formally like on the schedule that we were planning. It's always the crazy stuff. So, but we got some surprises. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll be sharing all that here on the show.
It is. And then afterwards, you can join us on July 4 at Epcot. We will be in the Japan Pavilion there. That's a great location because it's sort of opened up, and we'll be there for all the 4th of July festivities. So it'll be a good day.
That's right. It's a salute to all podcasts, but mostly us.
Mostly the BOGP. Yes. Love it.
Yes. And I want to say there will be lots of selfies to be ready because I want to post tons of selfies that night on social media. So
Yes.
be ready, hop in. So, and we'll try to do a group picture around 8:30. That'd be kind of cool just because we haven't done that in a while at Walt Disney World. So that won't be hard. Like in Epcot on the 4th of July, I tried to get a big group together for a picture. We'll have to go over to France, maybe get a photo pass person, drag them over or something. I don't know. We'll see what we can do.
We'll find something.
We'll find someone. Yeah.
We'll bribe. All right. So today we're hopping in again, talking about French Quarter versus Riverside, why you might pick one over the other. Okay. So let's hop in and let's go with first timer. If you're a first timer, because George is actually in the chat, he's sailing with us on the podcast cruise, coming all the way from Hawaii with his family. I cannot wait to, I feel like I know George, like he's like a brother and we've never met in person. So this is actually, can you believe George has always been with us on the podcast, always in the chat, always, talking about everything. Now he's never been to Walt Disney World, Pam. Did you know that? Never
Wait,
been to
what?
I did know this. I knew this. Yes, I know.
He's gonna be blown away. This is gonna be. I can't wait. His jaw is gonna be like.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
I know, right? It's so funny. Yeah, he's much closer to Disneyland, of course.
I knew
than
that.
the
Yeah.
world. Yeah. Yeah, he and his family will be. I think if you come from knowing Disneyland and then go to Disney World, it seems so much larger in scope in different ways. It's different. It is a different experience, but there's just so much to do. And I think you kind of feel like, with Disneyland and California Adventure, you feel like you can kind of get a handle on both of those because they're so close to each other. Well, this is 47 square miles of fun, my friends. So it's harder to sort of wrap your head around that, but you're going to have a great time for sure.
And the whole thing is, to me, what I've learned, and I think George and I think we've talked a lot. It's the resorts, really. I mean, the theme parks are amazing, but the resorts are just as amazing in a different way. And especially when you're trying to this vacation, like not have to go 1,000 miles an hour, which I'm sure he will, knowing George. But okay, so Riverside versus French Quarter. Let's say a first timer. Where would you put a first timer, Rikki, and why? Like, say somebody's going and they're like, oh man, I've narrowed it down. I've got all these hotels. I've got it down to the Port Orleans resorts, but I can't decide. Riverside or French Quarter, where would you put somebody and why? Because there's really not a right or wrong answer, but it's like hearing opinions.
No, okay. So for a first timer, I think that I would go with French Quarter just because it is smaller. And so it's a little less confusing for a first timer to kind of maybe walk around and get the feel of. And it will still give them that idea of what a Disney resort is. But I feel like the size of the resort is definitely going to be appealing to a first timer just because, like you said, it's such a grand nature of everything. It's so larger than life that I think having a smaller resort with only one bus stop versus the multiple bus stops around, the loop, I think that that's going to be a much better choice for someone who has never been.
I agree with that. I think that it's a safer resort. And what I mean by safer is that you don't have to navigate quite as many options. Like I remember one night, Pam never lets me forget about this. We're staying at Riverside again next week. So I guarantee you this will come up as soon as Magical Express drops us off. Like she will share the story again, how she was so mad at me because it was a night we'd been at the Magic Kingdom too late. We were exhausted. Mallory, I think, had a meltdown. She was like 6. Well, she still has them at 11, but she was 6 probably that trip. I don't know. You're exhausted. You're on the bus. You're falling asleep. They kick on the lights when you go around. Like the lights have been off. They turn the bus lights on. 1,000 lumens. It kills your eyes. And I'm like, this is our stop. This is our stop. So we get off the bus. Of course, it's not our stop. It's not where we're staying. It's the opposite end of the resort. And I hadn't been there before. So we're like hoofing it like in all these paths, like through Alligator Bayou, getting lost, like walking in circles. Then we finally get to the mansions. You can avoid that at French Quarter. I think George is going to be fine. He's at Riverside. I don't think he'll get lost. I'll help him. No worries. But it's one of those things, I think, Pam, do you agree that if you're really kind of a newbie to the whole Walt Disney World experience, the Disney experience even, that the French Quarter it gives you less chance to get lost and less chance to wander off?
Yeah, it is. It's a much smaller resort. You can basically, if you're at one end, you can pretty much see to the other end, right, of it. The last building, if you're looking down one of those big open areas. So I think that, that's true. Riverside is larger, definitely. It has two different distinctly themed areas. And for me, that's one of the pluses of Riverside, is that I can either choose to be in the Bayou, which I think the rooms are adorably cute. And if you have one that has a pull down, for that fifth sleeper, of course you see a little bit of the Princess and the Frog there. But then they also have the mansion rooms, which have the princess room. So that's a really themed room as well. But our French Quarter really just has one style of room. Now, within the resort, there are a couple different, you can look at the different buildings, and there's some cool things that you got to look for there too. But they really only have one style of resort.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the things to consider, that if you really want to have a lot of options in your accommodations, Riverside is the place to go. Royal rooms, you also have the choice between Alligator Bayou and the mansions, and two really different feels to your vacation. Not one's not better than the other. Because I stayed at Alligator Bayou for the first time over Marathon weekend. I loved it. It was really rustic and cool. And people have been saying that for years, but I was like, I like the mansions. We're booking a royal room when we go down here next week, just because my girls love them. And actually they're in a really good location. We like that location anyway. So it's kind of like a little extra bonus. They're a little bit extra, but they're fun. George is saying he's at Saratoga for the first part of his stay. Good luck, bro. That's an easy place to get lost. So pay attention. I'm just saying, I ran there and I got lost a couple times, but no, it's a great resort too. All right. So let's talk. And that was going to be my next thing, was if you want to pick a room, they're pretty much uniform at French Quarter. You got options at Riverside. So let's go dining. So, of course, I think Riverside obviously is where to go there. But Rikki, walk us through dining choices when you're trying to pick between these two.
Oh, man. Yeah. I think Riverside is probably the better dining option, just because you do have, boat rides as an option. You do have the mill, right? Riverside Mill? Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, good. You do have the Riverside Mill food court, which, surprisingly enough, let me just throw this out here. This is my family's favorite place to go for a meal. It's just the weirdest thing. They love going to the Riverside Mill food court. They have their pasta bar there that you can, put in whatever you want. And ever since I took my family there, they always are like, let's go back to the pasta bar. Okay, family, whatever. It's the most bizarre thing. That's always where they want to go. So that's an option. But of course, at Port Orleans French Quarter, you do have, the big thing in the beignets. So that's a hardcore option there that you can't pass up. But I don't know. It's just, yeah. It's good. I don't know.
It is. And the good news is, overall with this whole thing is these are literally sister resorts. So you can easily go to both food courts. You can go to both pools. We'll talk about that in a second. You can explore one of, and you should, if you stay at one, you should absolutely at least have one meal in the other, or go check out the other pool if you have kids, even if you don't have kids. This is the one place where it's convenient. It's nice walking along the Sassagoula River. So we're comparing the two, but I think this is really kind of like one gigantic Mondo resort, if you think about it that way, with two big themes. So back to the dining, though. Pam, chime in on that. What do you think as far as making that choice with dining, if that's important to you?
So if you do want a table service, of course, you're going to want to stay at the Riverside, because that's a decent location. It's right there at the resort. You can walk from French Quarter, though. It's always a good point, especially depending on where you're staying, how far you'll be from, that resort or not. But I also think that the Sassagoula Floatworks menu at French Quarter is a really good counter service or quick service location. We've talked about this before, but they have this great English muffin breakfast sandwich that has eggs and ham, and also has some kind of bacony jam on it or something like that. It's so good. So that's always, a good thing. They have a breakfast flatbread, which has scrambled eggs, and it has like a sausage gravy, but it also has andouille sausage and cheese and peppers and things like that. So that's a great thing too. Of course, we mentioned the beignets that are over there at Sassagoula, but did you know that they have a beignet cheeseburger?
Oh my gosh.
The beignet is the bun.
No.
Seriously, I haven't heard about that.
They do. They have a beignet cheeseburger. They also have a Creole cheesesteak po' boy. So I think, that sounds pretty good too. Voodoo chicken sandwich. And some other good stuff like that too. Things I just always feel like their food has some interesting, things to do. Like, how about Bayou lasagna? Hello.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
sounds good.
that sounds great. But then they have like jambalaya and things like that as well. But I think that those are really good choices and something that's really, sort of exclusive to Sasagula. I mean, not every food court is offering stuff like that. So that's something to really look for. Plus, they have, as one of the sides that you can get with your dinner things, they have mac and cheese. So I don't know. That always gets an extra check from me.
Nice.
So just both really good, really good choices. And I don't think you can go wrong. And we've said this a few times, but I want to say it one more time. You can walk back and forth between the two. You really, truly can. So, or you could even take the bus. So
I'm still stuck on beignet burger. Cheeseburger.
We had it. We did have it. We got to see Jay and Melissa and their kids, and we Steve and I split the beignet burger.
Oh
and
my gosh, was it really good?
There was a beignet. I mean, it was a beignet instead of a bun.
Voodoo Donut, Universal just started a burger with 2 donuts as the
Really?
patty. Yeah, my brother just texted me a picture of it, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So I can see how that would be good.
Back in the day at our minor league stadium here, the River City Rascals, they had a burger that the bun was a Krispy Kreme donut on each side, so it's probably kind of similar. It's like sweet and kind of savory at the same time. Oh, I'm going there. Oh, my trip just got better. I'm hoofing it over. See, I'm staying at Riverside, but I'm going to go over to French Quarter and get that sucker. All right, so let's talk. And also I want to throw this in because we'll totally forget. Jenny Lee Gardner from down in Australia is mentioning in our live chat, don't forget about the beignet bash that they do once a week. French Quarter. So if you're a runner, even if you're not a runner, this is a great. Hey, if you have the beignet burger, you should probably do the beignet bash.
You should probably be doing some sort of dash, yes.
Even if it's unofficial, you should probably dash a little bit in the next 24 hours just to loosen everything up after that. So, because you get beads and you get a little medal and I think you even get a number. A little fun. I like souvenirs like that. Something you got to earn. Kind of like at Castaway Key. All right, so let's talk pools. Pam, so talk to us about the pools. Which one is better for who?
Oh, man. So the one at French Quarter has this really awesome sea serpent slide. And I always think, that's really cool for kids to do because it's so visual. I mean, the sea serpent corner sort of weaves his way through the whole pool area. So love that. French Quarter also has one of the best kids water play areas on property. It just is really cool. It's sort of a Mardi Gras themed. It has Mardi Gras colors, and there's just so much to do. There's water buckets dumping water on you. There's little slides, and there's all kinds of things to play. On the other hand, Riverside has a really great pool area too. Old Man Island, they call it, right? That's the name, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. And it's sort of like an old themed sort of location. They have sort of water like bridges sort of overhead of you, made out of wood, and it sort of has an old-fashioned sort of look to it, and that kind of theme. It has the thing I love about Riverside is they have those trees sort of covered in Spanish moss, and that whole area is really cool because of that. They have all that kind of theming. So it's a really great pool too. The slide is fun. You can look over and see the main building, and you get some fantastic photos there at sunset. I mean, and at night too, because that water wheel is really cool. So they both really have great pool areas in their own right.
So Rikki, what do you think about the pools? So Pam's kind of given the overview, but like if you were say that, you landed right there between the two resorts tonight, you wanted to take a swim, why are you picking one over the other?
I mean, I'm a big kid at heart, so I'm going with the sea serpent one because, I mean, you get to you could slide down a serpent's tongue. So, I mean, you know, I'm just a big kid, so I think that would be super fun to go down. I don't know, like I think that I feel like that has a more whimsical theme overall. So I really like that idea. You know, I like the whimsy of you know, serpents, and you've got the gators by the pool and stuff like that too. And I don't know, that just appeals to me.
Plastic gators.
I mean, yes, plastic, not real.
You're right on the river there. I mean, seriously, right on the Sasquatch River. But I mean, that's a good point. And two, with French Quarter, their pool is like right there. Like you can't miss it. It's right there as you go through the main lobby, right in the buildings. Where Riverside, it's recessed. It's called Old Man Island. And one of the things, you know, if I had to pick, I would go Riverside, just because it seems kind of like a hidden, like a swimming hole or something from back in the day. And what it reminds me of, Pam, when you mentioned kind of the troughs that are above you with the water flowing over the top of you and the wooden supports and stuff. I never got to experience river country, and I know it's not river country, but it kind of has that feel to me of what a river country might have been like.
It does. And it really, I mean, I think that really fits with the theme of the resort. There is also a fishing hole over there too, where young kids can take a cane pole and do a little fishing. And I think that's a really cool part of the theme too. The other thing is that over at Riverside, you're going to be able to take a horse and carriage ride. They leave from that location. They sort of travel around the resort. And that's a very cool, another themed activity that I think they've done a great job of incorporating into that resort.
And kind of piggybacking on that, I know Riverside has the bicycle rentals and the Surrey bikes, just the plain old, you know, two-wheeler bikes, and the Surrey bikes. They don't have that stuff at French Quarter, I don't think.
They don't, and I think the idea really is that since they are sister resorts, that folks could go over and check those out at Riverside if they want to.
And that's, you know, I like that Disney is using that methodology, you know, because I don't think you would need to have Surrey bikes and bicycles, regular bicycles at both resorts, because you just walk over to one, you ride them, and it's, you know, it's kind of a communal thing. I like that because, you know, too much of a good thing is too much. All right. So we've talked about rooms. We've talked about dining. We've talked about kind of first timers. We've talked about the pools. So let's kind of talk about overall theme as far as, like, you know, thematic, how it all holds together. Pam mentioned something that I wanted to bring up. And one of the reasons I love Riverside, and again, this is just from, and I think this is for all of us, you know, we all have our different reasons as to why one theme jumps out at us over another, is that, you know, we used to drive down to Walt Disney World for years from the Midwest. And, you know, it's about a 14-hour drive. And one of the benchmarks we always looked for as we drove down through Illinois and then Kentucky, then Tennessee, then Georgia, then we hit Florida, was we'd always look for the very first palm tree somewhere in Georgia, usually southern Georgia, the central to southern Georgia. You'd see your first palm tree at like some, you know, sleazy hotel. But the thing that got me always so excited to be in Florida was, you mentioned it, Pam, was the Spanish moss you would see hanging on the trees on the side of the interstate. And Riverside has that just everywhere. Like the Spanish moss is part of the theme. And to me, I mean, just because of my background, that was always like the indicator, like, oh, you're getting closer to your vacation. You're getting closer to Walt Disney World. So when I see the Spanish moss and I hear the crickets and stuff over in, like, especially Alligator Bayou, and you're walking over some of the streams back in Alligator Bayou, there's little bridges. That's my go-to. I love that. So what about thematic? What jumps out to you, Rikki, between the two, Riverside's theme and the Nolan theme over at French Quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I do love the, you know, Nolan's theme. You know, you've got the streets that, you know, really look like actual kind of streets in a way, with the street signs and the wrought iron and stuff like that. But for me, I really think that Riverside is there's just something so special about it. You know, it does have, you know, the mansions are definitely they feel very stately and elegant, and then you have the Alligator Bayou section, which is super rustic feeling. And I love that there's the dichotomy in the two sections, and they're both so very different, but they help to form the one resort. And I really do love that. I think that it's super peaceful, you know, especially in the Alligator Bayou section if you're pretty far out back there. But I feel like it could still be peaceful too with the mansions and stuff like that. But I think the Riverside wins for me, you know, as far as overall feel of the resort. Just it really does. Not that Port Orleans French Quarter doesn't take you somewhere different, but I really feel like Riverside it really takes you somewhere different and relaxing, and I feel like that's perfect for vacation.
What about you, Pam? What do you think?
So it's such a toss-up for me because I really do like parts of both of it, but there is something about, I think, that French Quarter theme that they do so well. They have little street signs that say Rue de Bega and all of that. And there are, some locations that you are in that resort when you look at sort of the scrolling on the balcony railings and the colors of the building and the brick lined streets, that you could sort of close your eyes and wonder really hard, like, where am I? Like, am I in New Orleans, like in a really, really clean little quiet location in New Orleans? And I love that. They do a great job. Like, even I can remember walking through, we were staying in one of the farther buildings and we would walk past this little fountain courtyard every day, to get to our rooms. And it just was really, they did a great job of that. I loved it. I just, these were built during a time when Disney was really conscientious about the theming and carrying that through everything. And I feel that when I'm there. I feel that when I'm there at both locations.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm thinking like background loops as a part of the theming. I like the background music better at French Quarter with that jazz playing, especially at night. I mean, it is killer romantic, at least in my eyes. Like, I just love walking down those little streets with some jazz music playing. Because Riverside's got great kind of banjo type music playing, but give me that jazz. Love that stuff. All right, so let's talk a couple other things. Shopping. I think they're about equal. Riverside probably has I know they do. They have a bigger store there. And it's themed. They even have like it's not really an audio animatronic, but little moving characters. So Pam, talk to us about real quick. I mean, you don't have to go really in depth on this, but shopping at the two resorts.
They do. Riverside is certainly a larger location, and they seem to have some unique items there every now and then. Sometimes I'll go into the shop at Riverside and I'll see something and I'll think, well, I have not seen this anywhere else. Like, how did it end up here? I wonder what the buyers, if that has their own little buying department or what goes on there, because that has happened to me a few times. But French Quarter, once again, I think even though it is a smaller shop, they do a lot with what they have. And so I think they are really comparable in that space.
What I do like about both is that they usually do have resort specific, like polos and maybe jackets, like light breakers, hats. And even over Marathon weekend when I was staying there this past year, and I don't know, because I was only staying at Riverside, so I'm not sure if this was everywhere, but I noticed they had, select Run Disney Expo merchandise, like hats you can get at the Expo, water bottles, a couple of T-shirts. So it was kind of nice because a lot of time, the runners will get this. You go to the Expo and you don't want to spend all your money, so you're trying to get your bib and you'll buy like a shirt, but then, you're like, I don't need that hat. But then, like, you see people walking around for the next 2 days, everybody's wearing that hat that you should have gotten. So then when it was at Riverside, it was easy to pick it up. So Disney's smart because they get your money, either way. But it was nice. Like, you got a second chance, and I hope they do that more. So, Rikki, let's talk real quick. What about shopping? Do you ever shop at French Quarter? Because they have a nice little shop. It's just not as big.
No, actually, I can't say I've done a whole lot of shopping there, and it's probably because of that fact. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't really think about shopping there, since I haven't stayed there. Technically, I've visited, of course, but I've never actually stayed there. I haven't had a need to go shopping, so yeah, I really haven't done much shopping there, actually, unfortunately.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I haven't spent all the money, so that
It's smart.
Yes.
All right. So one of the things, obviously, that Riverside has an advantage, it has live entertainment in Yeehaw Bob at the River Roost Lounge. I think he's very, very popular, very talented man. We'll be with him at the Indy Disney Meet September 21st. So come out and see him and us. But he puts on a great show Wednesday through Saturday nights. Pam, do they still have the jazz musician over at French Quarter, the Scat Cat?
They do have musicians that perform over there in that lounge for sure. Yes, they do.
So the one thing, obviously, that French Quarter's lacking, the biggest thing is the sit-down restaurant over Riverside. They used to have what was it called? Like Bonfiliams? I could never say-
Bonfamils,
I can never say
Bonfamils. It's from the Aristocats. Yes, they do. But and the thing that we haven't really, well, we sort of mentioned it, but the thing that we need to mention, because I think this is a huge plus for both resorts, and they both have it, is boat transportation to Disney Springs.
Yes.
I mean, that is a big, big plus, I think, to be able to leave the drive into Disney and not even have to worry about getting on the bus. You get on the boat. And the great thing about the boat is if you've met the count and you can get on that boat, you have a seat, my friends.
Sure.
You aren't standing like you could be on a bus. You're going to be sitting down as you take that leisurely drive back to Riverside or French Quarter. So I think that's huge.
If you're standing, you're the captain.
That's right. You're the captain's helper.
That's it. Mike, will you be my little helper today to get us safely through the treehouse back to Disney Springs? Now that's all. That's like, you don't even know until you go on those boats. I mean, and it's so funny, Rikki. I mean, I'm sure you've heard this in the Disney community, that I've heard folks say that one of their favorite attractions from their Disney vacation was the boat ride between the Port Orleans resorts and Disney Springs. It's that fun. It's that cool.
No, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
I agree.
It's a great boat ride. I've definitely done that one, and it's so fantastic. So
it is at twilight. My favorite time is at twilight. It's so nice.
Yeah, I agree. So I think this has been a kind of a good, introduction or something just to think about, because a lot of times we narrow it down. We say, well, this trip, we're going to be saving some money. We're going value. This one, we're going to splurge. It's an anniversary or a honeymoon or just some special occasion in life. We're going to go deluxe. We're going to kind of go down the middle this time. And you might narrow it down to just like a French Quarter and Riverside. You're so close, but it's kind of fun to weigh the pros and cons. So as we close this out, Pam, final words on this discussion between Riverside and French Quarter. What's the bottom line for people to think about?
I want everyone to remember that when you are booking, there are going to be certain times that French Quarter might be not available with a discount or that. So know that going into, if price is going to be the thing that you're ultimately focused on, then Riverside is likely going to be the one that you're going to have a better luck at finding those discounted prices. Now that's not all the time. I'm just saying that that's something to consider. Don't feel like your vacation is going to be impacted in a good or bad way if you have to stay at one when you were thinking you were going to stay at the other. Because I think you're going to have a great experience. And the best part is that you will be able to experience both of the resorts if you want to. You can legally, this is Disney legal. You can swim in both resorts. You can eat at both of the restaurants at each resort. You can take the transportation to each resort. So this is all legal. You can do this above boards and really enjoy both. So
you will not be featured on Walt Disney World Live PD this fall.
No, you will not. You will not.
That's a shame. All right, final words, Rikki. What do you say between these two resorts?
I really think that they're just fantastic resorts. I mean, they have such an upscale feel. They almost feel like deluxe, even though they're not. That's kind of one of the great things about them is they have that, especially if you're moving up from a value to a moderate in this category here. I really think that these two have like that extra oomph to them. Not that, Caribbean Beach or Coronado doesn't, but there's really something special and it makes it feel a little bit more posh, I guess, to move up to, the either Riverside resort. So I love them. I think they're fantastic. I love exploring them, and definitely give it a try if you haven't, because they are both great resorts.
Either place you stay, make sure you get up one morning, maybe sunrise, and go for a run or a walk along the path there between the two resorts. As I'm telling you, when you see the Sassagoula River at sunrise before they get the boats out, it's like glass, and you see the reflection of everything. The golf course is on the other side of the river. It is just amazing. It's a great place to run. And it's, the last comment I'm going to say on this topic for the Port Orleans resorts is, when you stay here, do take the time to take advantage of the amenities. Go see Bob one night instead of going to see the fireworks, or go make sure you have a pool day, because the pools are great. Have a drink at the poolside bars. They both have poolside bars. Get some snacks in the food courts. I mean, Rikki, you nailed it. Like earlier this week, Mallory was like, God, we're staying at Riverside, right? I'm like, yeah. She goes, I love that food court. And I'm like,
Nice. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
so
people
great.
love that one. So yeah,
Yeah.
take advantage. But Pam said it. You can't go wrong either way. Sister Resorts, you get to take advantage of everything. So either way. All right. Hope you enjoy this, kind of a second episode here in the mini series where we're comparing Sister Resorts. We'll talk about Animal Kingdom Lodge and Wilderness Lodge coming up here in the future and a couple others as well. So thank you so much for being a part of the show. Don't forget today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Again, the 2020 packages are now available. You can book all the way through December 31st, 2020 with those dining plans, tickets, hotel rooms, and everything else. Your memory maker, you can add the travel insurance if you're wanting to be safe, and you should be doing that. But I mean, it's sometimes I've rolled the dice, but don't do as Mike does. I'm telling you, don't listen to me. Just do you. So if you want to book that package, drop by the magicforless.com. Check out all the great specials, big incentives. If you book early, you got a month. So get on that. Of course, just fill out the quote form. Let them know you heard about them here on the Be Our Guest podcast, and we'll get on that right away. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also support the show with our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. We appreciate that so much. Follow us on the social. We're on Instagram, and we're on the gram. I want to do it like Mallory says. We're on the gram and Twitter at Be Our Guest Pod and at Be Our Guest Mike. And of course, Facebook.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. We're going to have a live show, call-in show this Sunday night. So join us this weekend, Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, talking any Disney topic you have to get ahead for vacation. All right. So we're going to get out of here. Let you get on with your weekend. For Rikki and Pam, I'm Mike. Wishing you an awesome Friday. We can get out there and have some fun, but stay safe, and we'll see you real soon. Yay.
Boom.
We got it. George, you're going to be loving life, buddy, but pack some dress shoes.
Yeah, they don't have to be super dressy, but they do. They're not allowed to be open toes for guys.
I didn't even have a belt either that time either. I had to borrow a belt.
So, yes, but yeah, they do require. But you can wear jeans.
He's wearing a fanny pack and dress shoes.
Nice, of course.
Hey, man.
You
Say you can't.
No,
you
really can wear jeans and a golf shirt.
You can wear jeans in Apollo?
You wear jeans to Palo. Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm going to wear like a golf shirt and like khakis.
Okay. I'm just telling you.
I'm just saying, like, I never get to like put on like teacher clothes anymore because I'm always in my house.
Could you wear jeans when you taught?
Yes, I wore jeans for the last 2 years because what I did, it was kind of like an unwritten rule. So when I knew I was kind of on my way, like transitioning out of teaching, because I do stupid stuff, I guess, all the time. I said, I'm going to wear jeans until somebody tells me I can't. And so I ended up wearing them for over 2 years. Nobody told me I couldn't.
Oh my gosh. It's hysterical.
They were nice looking jeans. They were like,
yeah, no.
Or anything.
I don't know what Steve will wear because he dresses up every day, but
we should wear our costumes.
He might. No. He could. It would fit the dress code.
It would.
No. Okay. No. Oh gosh.
Because I paid a lot of money for that.
No, Steve tried his on. It doesn't look costumey at all.
Yeah, Mallory was kind of disappointed that mine didn't look too costumey either.
But that's because I think you all bought something that was an appropriate size, shall I say. It wasn't tutu.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's gonna be so awesome. All right, I gotta go because I gotta edit these and Pam needs me upstairs because we
all right.
Okay. All right.
Talk to you guys later.
All right, see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye guys. See you, George. Bye.
Bye everyone.